And here we go with, guess what time it is? Business and Internet Mastery Training, Strategic Planning and Action, my 7-point New Year plan. So if you remember from our last training, I talked a lot about singular, deep focus. And that's a big theme of this as we go through and really think about how I want to actualize and go after serving the world in very purposeful ways, but how I want to role model for you so you can do something similar as well. Especially a lot of the people in our mastery community who are thought leaders, who are content creators, and you know who you are, who are really going after helping the world. But it can seem so overwhelming. So before I get started, as you know, participation is rewarded. I'd love to hear what's one thing you really want to achieve in the new year, in the next year, depending on when you're watching this replay. What's one thing you really want to achieve in the new year or the next year? And what that is, whatever that is, share it. And I'm going to share mine. And that is really thoughtful, deep work, helping as many people as possible. I've structured my offer, as we call it in like Experts Academy, some of the training a lot of us have been through, the offer grid. I call it my How I Serve board. I've structured my offers, as you'll see, to be very clear that there's an option for infinity growth. There's a limited option where I am leveraged. There's an option to help people at a deeper level. And then there's an option to help people ultra deep. That's one-to-one, but that's very scarce and very limited. So I'm going to break all this down for you. And I want you to think about it like a hub. In the middle here, we have the hub. And then these 7 areas are all spokes pointing to growth within the hub. And I want to connect this, I'm piling it on here for you. I want to connect this to those beautiful 5 Ps. The reason why we do what we do. So what is that reason why? You know what it is. Let's break it down. First, to feel purposeful. I'm going to write that in for you. To feel purposeful about what we do in the world. I like to think of it the way we kind of teach it in our high performance coaching work. Purpose is typically felt when we're helping others improve their lives somehow, and or helping others grow their business somehow. In today's context, I'm doing both for you, for us, for the future, for the world. You follow? So the very first P, purpose. And I got to tell you, this entire training and action list, if you have even an ounce of wanting to help others improve their lives, if you have even a tingle of a sensation that you want to help the world be better somehow, this is the magic of how to really go after it. A couple things I want to frame up. If you remember way back, if you've been through my starting from scratch work, we had to be really clear about defining our break even so we can take care of ourselves. So when we go out and help others, we are taking care of ourselves. You know, we can't sustain the message. If you can't bring in the revenue. You can't help others if you're not meeting your break even. Cash flow for life. My good friend, Double M, Mark McCara, says that. He teaches that. He actually has a domain, Cash Flow for Life. I think Cash Flow Planning for Life is the actual domain. But really helping people understand, you've got to have that. The arc of today's training is incredibly purposeful, but I'm going to skip to the final P for just a minute, way up here. It's also profitable. And at the highest level, what my goal is for us is to have a purposeful, profitable life and business, if that's your desire. Does that all make sense? And it can be achieved. If you have any doubts about that, I'm living proof of it. So many people in our mastery community are living proof of it. Our goal, though, as we go into the new year, is that as of this filming, this is filmed in December, we're going into a brand new year and decade, 2020 and the 20s. So my job, my dream, my goal is to learn from the lessons of what's happened to me and so many others, and to get singular, deep focus, as I've already said, towards this. And this has been journaled on, well thought out, articulated, strategized on, bounced around, planned, gone after for the last since August, so the last 4 months. Really going after this. Really thinking through in each of these 7 areas how I'm going to be exceptional in those areas. What I'm looking for, what I'm not looking for, what I'm going to deliver, what I'm thinking about, what I want to help people with. Does that all make sense? If it doesn't, just yet, do not worry. We're going to cover that. So as we come back to why we do what we do, we have purpose. This thing fuels my purpose, and it crazily fuels my purpose. Like right now I'm getting chills just telling you this because I know what it's going to do for the people that I can help, including you. But I also know that if you create your own version of this, which I'll challenge you to do, guess what? You might feel a whole nother level of purpose too. Now let's go through these P's to make sure we cover them all for you, just in case you're new here. Second P, passion. My goal for you is to have emotional connection, enthusiasm, energy towards what you create. And if you have not yet, please schedule, if you're in our mastery community, please schedule your fourth quarter check-in call so we can really get some enthusiasm and engagement around what you're trying to accomplish as you go into 2020 and beyond. Does that all make sense? I want to make sure, especially in light of today's training, which should fuel a ton of ideas and brainstorm with you, that we have got a clear action plan for you and we're going after it. You're just like, oh my gosh, I never even thought of those things. I never thought about how that could tie into this. I never strategically planned that. Oh, now I know what I got to take action on. And what I really want to be sure of is that you're not overwhelming yourself. You've got clarity on what to take action with first. But a 9 of the P's, that you feel purposeful doing it, you feel passionate about it, and you can see the light in terms of creating profit, meaning you're bringing in more than you're expending, right? To live a profitable life, to have a profitable business. Next, of course, through all of it, we want to bring the joy. Bring positive, loving energy. I'd say unconditional love too. Really helping people because you just love to see people succeed. And if you're not in that space just yet, about loving to see people succeed, maybe we've got to get you there. That's what high performance coaching is about. Really getting articulate with, I would say one of the arcs of high performance coaching is servant leadership. If you feel like you don't have the clarity, the energy, maybe the courage, maybe the influence, the purpose, those happen to be session topics in our first 12 sessions based on the core, we call them the core sessions, based on high performance habits, the HP6, the 6 habits that the highest performers own to feel like they're making a change in the world, but they're also living that fully charged, enthused, engaged, joyful, confident life consistently over the long term while maintaining well-being. And big part of business, you're going to see it show up right here. Number 1, positive relationships. So if you sense you're not clear, you're not bringing the joy, you're not passionate, you're not purposeful, my challenge for you is to fill out the application below to get that conversation started for you. I do a discovery call. We also have other certified high performance coaches in our mastery community. We're all here and ready to help you. My schedule's looking almost totally full now for 2020. You'll see it show up here in the offers. And I have other people that can serve you that are loving, caring, unconditional love, ready to help you go after, get clear, get focused, get more energy, to go after your dreams, your desires, your goals. Which ties right into the 4th P, productivity, productive. I want to make sure we frame that for you in line of what I just shared. Feeling productive in the context of these 4 Ps is not just getting things done every day. It's getting the right things done. It's going after your life's ambitions, but having the time, energy, effort, vision, strategy, plan to think that through, to really get clear on what that means for you. You'd be like, oh, is that like an hour-long thing? No. Typically, it's a long journey. And that's one of the arcs of what we cover in high-performance coaching. So as I've said, if you think you could use just a little edge, a little bit more clarity, or a lot more clarity, a lot more energy, a lot more focus about your personal and your professional life, a lot more influence, not manipulation, but really having the power to help others improve their lives through the words you say and the behaviors you exhibit, to be purposeful, to dial in your psychology, to dial in your physiology, to dial in your productivity along the lines of what I just shared, to even dial in your persuasion techniques and habits, not manipulation, but true helping others to their benefit. If you need any of that, fill out the application below. Even going through the application, you're going to have insights and thoughts, maybe a breakthrough, just because it really adds to this experience. And like I said, I'm here to help, and we've got others that are here to help you one-on-one, and we have group coaching in our mastery community. All these kind of things stack up to really help you feel these 5 Ps. So my challenge for you, participation time, is to think about each of these Ps, each of these 5 Ps, and report out, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, report out which P you need the most work on. Purpose, passion, positivity, productivity, in the context of that is to define your life's work and going after that on a daily basis, as well as handling your responsibilities, and profit. Which P do you need the most work on, and what are you committed to as you go into the next month to really go after that? What's one thing you're going to do? Participation time. If you want part of our big December 2019 giveaway, this is everything towards those ends. This is it. You participate. I'm watching. We got the rules defined. Going after it. I really want to have one of you be here in the studio on a 3-day deal where we do all this work with you and we implement. And I can do that in 3 days. We're going to do some prep work. We're going to go after that. Just get so excited thinking about that. That being said, I thank you so much for being here with me, for being on this journey, to go after these things, to really think about, articulate, get deep with what we're going to do to serve, to grow, but also to do it purposefully and profitably. And I'll be pounding on those P's today, purpose and profit, because it can be reached. And I'm going to document exactly how I'm doing it and how I've done it. And you'll be seeing all this stuff come to fruition as we go into the new year. I'm so happy to have some of our beautiful mastery communities and even family members be part of my team going into 2020. So we'll be talking that through, and I'll be sharing some of that in our Q&As and how that's going out as we get into the new year, and really helping you think about that too. Does that all make sense? Thank you so much once again for being here. It's such an honor to be on this journey with you. So that ends the big picture perspective of our training today. Let's step into the actual 7-point New Year plan and see how you feel about the strategic planning and action that we're going to go after. So as I've always taught, the very first thing we want to be careful of and we want to go after is exactly what we're selling. Go back a couple trainings ago in our Season 3 Business Internet Mastery training, that we have energy and enthusiasm around our offers, and that we have 100% belief that our offers can really help other people. If you don't have that, people feel that. So you've got to really dive deep and think about this. If you need help with that, if you're in our master community, you know I'm here for you. We will work on that in our Q&As. We have 2 of those per month, where it's just us in a group on Zoom, rocking it out. We got 1 today, so we're going to really go after that. Also in our check-in sessions. And if you need more help than that, we got a new option for you too, where we can dive deeper so we can get that momentum faster for you. And I really want to make sure you see that. So the big picture is we got to be extremely clear about what we're offering, because every conversation, as we think about this hub and these spokes, has to end with, can I help you further? Or would you like some help there? Does that all make sense? Or I have something for you to take you deeper, to take you down this path, to help you reach your desired outcome, to reach your desired goal, to get to that next level in your life or your business or both. We got to have very clear offers. So my challenge for you, and it's a participation cue, if you will, how many offers do you have online right now that are actually creating income for you on a consistent basis? How many offers do you have online right now that are actually creating income for you on a consistent basis? What is that for you? And as I think about that, for me, there's 3. We have our mastery community, we have high performance coaching, and I have my other business, Internet Services Group, that's creating consistent income with specific offers. And that business, just so you have a frame, Internet Services Group is a business that does internet development and marketing and fulfillment. This business that we're under right now, the business that operates this training, is Life and Business Success Group. So that's the training, coaching, and teaching company. Internet Services Group is the internet development, marketing, and fulfillment company. And just so you have a little side note, a little frame for you as you think about what I'm talking about, for years, since 1995, Internet Services has been a brand that's helped people make more from a consulting place with some teaching, go after it. But in 2012, I reached the peak pinnacle of how much business that business could handle My team was like, dude, we can handle about 40 projects. You're at 62 and you have 8 more meetings. You probably can convert some of those. And we didn't want to grow any bigger than we were because we just came out of that economic shift. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let me at least train people on how to do it right themselves, because there's a lot of self-improvement or DIY tools, we'll call it. Like DIY, like Wix is a great way to build a website. Weebly can be a great tool. Jimdo, all these things. So the reason I'm telling you this is this. As you evolve your offers over time, you may find pockets of profit in helping people do work. And you may build a team for that. And if you ever encounter that thought, I'm your guy. Talk to me. 32 years in the entrepreneurial space, have had that where you recognize people keep asking me to do this. Maybe there's a profit center here. How would that work? You follow? That's what happened in 2013, or 12 actually, when I started to do speaking, which you'll see show up on these spokes. When I started to do speaking, people were like, Char, you've got this plan so well documented. I called it the Web Marketing and Action Plan. Web Marketing Report and Action Plan. Sold $250,000 of those and trained on those, and then recognized people didn't want to do the work, or they tried and they were just like, this is new to me, don't really want to do this. We built our team, a new team around that, and that became $1 million, $1.8 million in 2 years business. It was insane. So I just want to assure that I illustrated for you this. I'm going to go back over that one more time so you get the bigger picture. Life and Business Success Group was born because I couldn't handle any more business at Internet Services Group, and I wanted people to know best practices. I built the first product, Total Internet Marketing Blueprint. The name of it is a tribute to Brendan's Total Product Blueprint, and that really helped my team and those who went through our Internet Web Marketing Report and Action Plan know what they were doing. That was my very first old Kajabi course. But I just want to make sure you know this. As you put offers in the world, there's things you're going to hear as people start to come in that might be pockets of profit for you. It's a term I coined a long time ago. Pockets of profit for you. And I want to make sure you have an open mind and hear them. I hope I've illustrated well with mine. When I started to do this work about teaching, training, and helping others with the Web Marketing Report and Action Plan, I didn't have any inclination to do that work for them. But immediately, 3, 4, 5 companies were like, dude, we do not want to do this. I got people on it. They don't want to do this. Can you guys do this for us? And what would that look like? And that developed into like 1.8 million in sales in 2.5 years. And that was insane. But it's because I listened and went after that. So that in mind, I'm going to go over my offers and I'm going to connect that story I just told you to the bigger picture with those offers as well. So let's take a deep breath. I know I've thrown a ton at you. It's our job right now to just clear our mind and think about the offers that I'm going to share with you, how if you're about these themes that I teach, recurring revenue equals personal freedom. If you haven't written that down, write it down right now. Recurring revenue equals personal freedom. And people need help consistently over the long term. That's a high performance principle. That it's not just one and done. It's not like a destination for the development of something. It's a journey. And when you connect those, that people need help consistently for the long term, meaning there's a repetitive offer, a subscription offer, like a monthly membership, to recurring revenue equals personal freedom, you start to scale that number up. It gets amazing fast, as you probably know if you've done any of the math on that. Let's do that real quick. Let's say for $100 a month times 100 people, what is that, $10,000 a month? Yeah, $100 a month. Let me do the math. $100 a month. 100 times 100. Yep, 10,000 times 12, 120K a year. So the math on that is pretty amazing when you think about it, right? So I want to make sure you see the picture here. Your job is to be able to leverage that. As you'll see here, I have an infinity symbol, meaning you can just bring in many people as you want. And if this is way over your head, then you and I need to sit down and talk, because this is a possibility. And I want to make sure you see it. So here's the magic, going back over the principles. Recurring revenue is personal freedom. I discovered this when we sold our first business, October 10th of 2000, and the company that purchased us wanted our recurring revenue stream for all the people paying for dial-up internet access. Does that make sense? And they paid us for that. And it was a lot of money. And I was able to retire. Dreams come true, like blown away. But it's really clear, if you've read any books on automatic income or power of recurring revenue, that once you create a relationship and you sustain it, it's easier than pounding the pavement to create new relationships for one-off sales. Does that make sense? Like you're just sustaining a relationship and helping them along a ambition line, as we teach, for the long term. So in my world, there's two ambition lines. One is health, wealth, and happiness. Two is business and internet mastery. And these are the two ambition lines. And if you don't want to do the work in business and internet mastery, I have a company that helps there. And that's Internet Services Group. You see how this kind of interconnects? So that all being framed, you'll see very heavy front end on recurring revenue with all my offers. And I want to make sure I painted that frame for you as we think this out. So going from left to right with my offers, this is all I'm offering in line of Life and Business Success Group in 2020 and beyond at this point. This may evolve as maybe pockets of profit appear, but this is it. Singular deep focus on these offers. The very first offer is people who just want a baby step into the land of health, wealth, and happiness, as well as business internet mastery. And that is a monthly membership, $97 a month, or $997 annually. You get a discount if you sign up annually. These are all in the works right now. I'm going to have these up soon so you can actually see how this all flows. But what's included in that is not access to me directly. You can ask questions through comments. You can email questions in, but you're not part of what's called our mastery community, which is $297 a month, which includes our 2 Q&As per month. It includes check-in sessions. It includes direct access to me in those Q&As. So what that basically means is this. People at this level can join our Q&As, but they cannot ask questions or participate. They join as an observer directly in the actual Q&A. They can send questions in advance, and I will answer those questions. But in the actual Q&A, they cannot participate at the monthly membership level. At the Mastery Community level, you absolutely can participate. As many of you know, that's how we work. And at the Mastery Community level, you get more support from me. You get quarterly check-ins. You have an issue, I'm known to come out there and help you. As many of you know, you're like, dude, I'm running into this. Can you look this over? Can you do that? Yeah, sure. Send it to me. So the thing that I've discovered is I can handle about 150 of those. That's the ratio. And that's where I'm going to set that. That's where that limit is now set. 150 Mastery Community members. If you want more support, and this is typically for a limited time, when people are in the midst of the hustle of creating a new project, going after their dreams, trying to get what I always call getting from zero to break even, that's a really tough time for a lot of people, and they need to be like just really resilient. They need to be like on their toes. They need to pivot fast. And they're like, dude, I need all the support I can get, or almost all the support I can get. Then there's a $700 upsell where we do weekly check-ins. We have a base camp project on top of all the stuff we do in the Mastery community. Does that make sense? So we're really helping you along that ambition line. And that $700 is a different offer that people can have. And if they want it for a long time, that's cool. But it's on a more temporary basis. My goal, my dream, my desire is that you'll always be either in our monthly membership, in our Mastery community, and I'm delivering value, answering questions, helping you have a better life along these 5 Ps consistently for the long term. You see how that came right back around to what we talked about? Recurring revenue equals personal freedom. Our job is to help each other on the journey. It's not a destination. Consistently for the long term. But there's different levels of support, and that's the arc of this. This one, monthly membership, includes access to our monthly health, wealth, and happiness training, our access to our business internet mastery training, access as an observer to our Q&As. Next tier up is Mastery community level, access to everything that I just described, but you're a participant in our Q&As, and you get high performance coaching, group coaching. That's a new thing for this offer. It's not included in monthly membership. High performance group coaching only happens in the Mastery community. Then, if you really need the extra level of support, this may be on a temporary basis or maybe a longer term basis, we have that upsell to deep dive. I call it the VIP treatment, where we're really going after your endeavors. And that might be for a month, might be for 3 months, might be for a year, whatever that is to get you typically Where this is used most is in getting to break even. When you're starting a new business endeavor, when you're starting a new project, whatever that is, to get you to the place you want to get as fast as possible, with me kind of sitting there right by you, helping you through that process. Does that all make sense? These are all what I consider to be leveraged offers. This one's not so leveraged. That's why the number of people that I can support at this level is 15. And I really want you to think about, if you develop your offer grid, a real infinity-based offer, you'll see that there's interaction. The real interaction that those people get is simply being able to ask questions, and then I just incorporate that into the training. That's as far as that goes. At the mastery community level, you get a lot more interaction. There's a lot less than the available because it's not as leveraged. And down here, it's not nearly as leveraged. Then we go into the one-on-one, which isn't leveraged at all, meaning that it's trading time for money for me. We have 3 spots open. We typically have 3 spots open. Right now, I have 1 spot open for the high-performance one-on-one coaching. That's $5,000 a month. It's very pricey for a lot of people. Business internet coaching, and that's also coaching and consulting. And that's $8,000 a month. It does include high-performance one-on-one coaching. So I just want to make sure you're clear on this. In my big picture of life, you have got to be a high performer to run a business. Have to. There's no question, especially now that I've coached over 3,500 high-performance sessions, one-on-one and in groups over the last 7 years or however long that's been. It's really critical that you are a high performer when you're running a business. Otherwise, you don't have a chance for longevity. I've seen it. People fall apart. They fall apart 10, 20, 30 years down the road. And then they don't think about a lot of things we talk about in high performance. How to lead well. Our newest sessions, by the way, are on leadership. So incredible. But they also don't think about how to pivot when they start to lose their passion, their zest, their verve for their business. And these are questions and things that we cover in high performance, along with having clarity, energy, focus, and having the practices we talked about in our earlier training today about the situational, daily, monthly, quarterly, yearly needle movers. Like, holy moly, that was a whole byproduct of my journey in high performance. That helps me stay on course and on target in my businesses and in my life. So I know I'm throwing a ton at you here. As you think about this, participation time, would love for you to share, and maybe you don't have this defined yet, what is your infinity offer? Or what could be your infinity offer? Typically, that's a monthly subscription, but I'd like for you to describe what that could be comprised of in light of what I've just shared. The more time, energy, and effort you put into that, the more potential freedom, personal freedom, financial freedom you'll have in short order as you go into the next year, into the next decade. Do you sense that? If you do not, then you and I need to talk. It's critical that you understand that, because that's everything towards why I'm where I am today, where I don't actually have to work. It's a really great feeling to know that I don't have to work. But I'm doing this because I'm so ignited about helping you on your journey, that I live into these, and I hope I'm a good role model. I'm feeling very purposeful about what we're working on today. Feeling incredibly passionate. I hope you sense this from me. Feeling incredibly positive and joyful about you and your future. Feeling incredibly productive, not only for me, but for you, helping you define your life's ambitions, especially this magic right here, and going after it. Feeling incredibly profitable, meaning that, I'm really a lean man when it comes to living. I've leaned that out. If you need help there, I am your guy. So let me know. If you're on our master community, that's a great check-in session. How can we lean out? We teach that as clean up, set up, and level up for the next decade. Like, just get things dialed in. Get some behaviors cleaned up about swiping credit cards and those kind of things. Does that all make sense? So, I know I've thrown a ton at you. So let's just go over these offers one more time, just so we really get these to land for you. My infinity offer, the one that I can supply the world with, $97 a month, $997 a month, and includes our monthly health, wealth, and happiness training, business and internet mastery training, and participation only in our Q&As. You can submit questions in advance. I'll do my very best to answer them in those Q&As. That's the baseline. Inside that, you can up-level or upgrade to our mastery community level. It's $297 a month. And so many of you are mastery community members. You know what that is. It's the idea that we have those things I just talked about, health, wealth, and happiness training, business internet mastery training. You are a participant, not an observer, in our Q&As. And you have high performance group coaching and access to the library there. You also have quarterly check-ins, discounts, on a lot of my services and courses, those kind of things. Really powerful. Access to our Facebook group, all these kind of things. If you need support because you're in that 0 to 100K is what I call it, or 0 to break even mode, where you're in hustle, setup, crunch mode, and you're like, Char, I'm going to need you on my team as I do this. Then we have the $700 a month upgrade, what I call the VIP experience, where we're checking in every week. We've defined a project for you. We got very clear on our vision, strategy, and plan together. We're really going after that. And as you're pivoting, you're seeing offers come in, you want me to just look over your shoulder and help you create that stuff and do whatever it is. That's what that's about. Beyond that, high performance one-on-one coaching, $5,000 a month, $4,997. Business internet coaching consulting that includes high performance for $7,997. And just so you know, for the high performance coaches in our community and on the training, that means we're going to do a real hour of high performance coaching, take a 10-minute break, and then we're going to do business internet coaching consulting work. That could be 60 to 90 minutes depending on what we decide on based on your objectives and goals. And I usually do that in a bundle that way. It's worked out great. And it's great to warm up the conversation, just so you know, I've tested this over the years. High performance first, then business. Because I'm able to tie principles in when we're doing business and internet coaching and consulting from our high performance work. Does that all make sense? Really powerful. The cool part is, and this is where I offer for you the ability to create income, recurring, passive revenue income on my work, is that if you bring in anybody for these, you get 20%, and let's put that in black, for life of subscriber. We still are cutting big checks every quarter for our affiliates. Some of you on the call are getting a couple $100 every quarter to, I think the highest is $500 every quarter. $2,000 a year for simply referring people once, many years ago in some cases, into our mastery community. So 20% of $100 is $20 a month times 12 is $240 a year. 20% of this is around what, 200. 20% of this is 60. I think it's $60 a month. 20 times 300. Yeah, I think it's $60 a month, $720 a year. 20 times that. Isn't that amazing? If you're interested in signing up for being an affiliate, or you already are signed up, there's going to be a link below this training so you can get in there and get your affiliate ID, and it'll give you the links for this stuff as this one isn't totally up just yet, but it will be soon. And you can start sending them out and be like, hey, I'm in this program and I think with what you shared, here's what you need to help. And I think this specific training will help you. It's $97 a month to get access to it. Give it a try. Charlie's there for you. Ask him any questions, again, if they're at this level, through email, and he'll be sure to answer them in the next Q&A that you can participate in or watch the replay of, ... So, are you motivated at all around that to really grow? And the beauty is this, we've got the miles in. We've got the catalog. We've got the work done. It's just a matter now of growing this thing, right? And taking it to the next level. And I'm so excited to go into 2020 as we think about this with you on this idea that you can create passive revenue, true passive recurring revenue from something I'm doing, and it's my job to deliver. And I have no problem with that. Fully confident, courageous, bringing the joy, engagement of going after it. Never been more clear about anything in my life. Love that. Cool? At this level, if you bring in anybody for me, it's 10%. So think about that for a minute. $500 a month, $800 a month for the life of the client, for just referring somebody to me. Cool? Now, if I'm booked, we're setting it up so if it gets referred to us as the CHPC community in my mastery community, then there's going to be a breakout for that. I haven't even touched on what that is yet. I'm not going to say anything about it yet because I need to meet with the CHPCs who are interested in a group setting, and we're going to sort that out. I have some ideas, but again, people support what they create. So if they come to me and they want to work with me and I'm full, as you hear me say in all of our trainings, I have people in our community that are CHPCs that are willing to help you too. And we want to make sure we have a good fit. The right person's paired with the right CHPC. Does that make sense? So, CHPCs on the call, participation time. Put a comment in if you're interested. Say this, Char, I'm interested in being part of the Mastery Community CHPC group. Char, I'm interested in being part of the Mastery Community CHPC group. I'm going to collect the names. We're going to get on a Zoom call. We're going to sort out what that looks like and how that can play out. I think that what it would be best, just as a sort of frame, is maybe for me to do the billing so I can give commissions out with the system we already have in play, and then pay you, the CHPC, pay the commissions, and then I'll make a little bit of money in there too, and we'll all win. Does that all make sense? And that's just an idea, nothing set in stone. So this is everything about the offers. That's it. It may seem complicated. It's actually not if you break it down and watch the replay. Infinity offer, 150 people, 15. If you get rid of that, and if I didn't do that, this would be everything that I would do in line of everything that we've been doing for the last, 2.5 years. And I have availability, 1 here and 2 here, to go after that. This is a new offer, so there's a lot of availability, 2 out of 3, to go after this. There's ability for you to say, Charlie's your guy, go through and work with him and make recurring passive revenue for the life of the subscription. Now you'll notice, as I talked about, everything here is a monthly subscription. Except for this one is an annual subscription. But you know the operative word, subscription. Why? Going back to what I taught you as a theme, recurring revenue equals what? Personal freedom. Make a note of that. If you don't want to do any work other than create relationships and send them my way, 20%, 10%. We'd have to figure out the math for how many people you need to send in to hit your break even. That's a whole nother option. And I'm totally cool with cutting checks. We do it January 10th, April 10th, July 10th, October 10th, like clockwork. It's all part of a system. Does that all make sense? Got the offers done. Take a minute. If you're sitting, stand, and let's get some energy back in our bodies. Something we teach in high performance. And let's just stand and bounce in place like this for 10 seconds and breathe deep 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It's really critical. You understand what Jim Quick, one of the trainers that we had at High Performance Academy, he's the brain guy, speed reading, speed learning, said, the brain grooves when the body moves, or something like that. Brain grooves when the body moves. Like when you're learning and you're moving around, your body absorbs it faster. So we just energized our bodies. We've covered the hub. Now we're going to work the spokes. Some of you have heard some of these things, but I want to ask you as we do this work, how are you doing in these areas? And maybe some of these areas are things you need to entertain. And maybe you have different areas. These are my 7 critical points that I'm going to be hitting. I already am hitting some of these as we go into the new year and the new decade. And this is it. Deep, singular focus. If you need books to read on that, you may have heard these before. The One Thing by Gary Keller. This is my one thing. There's a couple things in it, but this is my one set of offers, my offer grid as we call it. And Deep Work by Cal Newport. Those 2 books paired together really help give you the definition of why it's critically important to get singularly focused on what you're offering and then come at it from different ways strategically to see what works while listening for pockets of profit. You follow? I know this is a heavy-duty training, and I know this may be blowing your mind in terms of what's possible, but just know this. Take a deep breath. I'm here for you, and we can develop this for you and get you energized and enthused about it. Get you 100% belief in it. That's really going to help others. Overcome that confidence that, oh my gosh, I'm putting myself out there. So many of our mastery members are like, I got to say what? I got to do, it's all new to me. But just building those muscles. We're here to do that. I'm here to role play that with you. Mastery community members, people I'm coaching, people will be buying the VIP upgrade, whatever that is, we're on that. Owning it. Follow? All right. First spoke. One-on-one relationships. In the context for what I've just trained, there's 2 parts to this. One-on-one relationships with affiliates, people who are referring into these programs, referral sources, if you will, and then one-on-one relationships with the individuals. That's how we built the mastery community. I did no ads. Well, correction, I did an ad for our 0 to 100K monthly, the 0 to 100K monthly program training that we did back in July of 2018? Yeah, 2018. And that I ran $500 in ads. We made No, I ran $40 in ads and we made $500. And I was like, I'm good with that. That was a good return on the investment. Done. Those are the only ads I've ever run, by the way. Crazy. Personally, and just so you know, affiliates can run approved ads by me as part of that. That's what I'm working on with some of our members. We're working on specific ads they can run to bring in awareness and get into the 20% or 10% thing. And that's something that if you want to have that conversation, I'm more than happy to have that conversation with you. One-on-one relationships, as Linda Fitzgerald, a beautiful member of our master community, said when I did this training way back, you work the green, the people you know and the people they know, to get the green. Thank you, Linda, for rocking that out. Now, in red here, I have the frequency. So when we take strategic planning and action, how often am I doing that? And that's always going on. Strategic planning and action, this, always. How am I doing that? We taught that previously. Honoring where they're at, acknowledging their struggle. At some point, invariably pivoting to what's possible for them, co-creating ambition, and then me saying, do you want some help with that? And if they say yes, goes to an application, and then they're offered, depending on what they need, one of these things. Usually starting at the high level, them saying, you know what, it's not affordable to me, or over here, and then saying, well, what about this? And this is what you get, and here's how I can support you. And what about this at a baseline level? So we always start from the higher price down as part of the way our psychology works. If you need more background on that, Priceless by William Poundstone is a great book to read on the ether of pricing and really understanding what that means. That's the basics. I'm working the green to get the green. Another way of thinking of it is a quote that Brendan gave out back in 2012, November of 2012. And the quote is, there's $1 million in business with the people you already know and the people they already know. You just have to arc the conversation properly. But most importantly, in line of what we're teaching here today, you got to have your offers dialed in. And you got to know, like, there's a difference. And I want to illustrate this for you, really, really critical. There's a difference between me saying, yeah, I can kind of help you. I think what I'll do is I'll develop a proposal and we'll see what we can do, versus, hey, you know what? I can help you immediately. I've got training for you online and I got a process for this. And if you really want to go after it, I'm your guy or girl and we're going to go. That's energy, enthusiasm, and belief in your offers. That's my dream for you, is that you have that. So participation cue. Do you have an offer that you are fully energized, enthused, and have 100% belief in right now? If you do, say yes. And if you have it online, share the link. If you do not, say, I think my offer could be this, but I need to think about it and flesh it out. If you need help, put in, Charlie, let's talk about this. Charlie, help me. Whatever wording you want, I'm going to be looking over the comments to see. Cool? Really critical that you get this. Because here's the thing. In an elevator, I've gotten a client. Out at a bar down in Naples, I've gotten a client. Because they've acknowledged they're struggling with something in life, in business, or online. And I've worked that language. Hey, so what does it look like? What's the actual challenge here? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about really dialing in what's most profitable in your business? No, I never really thought about that. Well, what would it be if in your dream world you could go out and attract things that are most profitable, most fulfilling, most desirable for your business and map that online? What are the words people are using to get there? And people are like, that's a conversation I've never really had before. I've sat and had that. And invariably at some point, as I teach you, I'll ask, do you want help with that? Yes. All right. I want you to fill out an application, or I want to get on a discovery call with you. We're going to sort out what that looks like. So just so you know from a complete frame of reference, it might result in this, or it might result in my other business doing fulfillment, development, marketing for them. You follow? I just want to make sure I'm illustrating these for you, and I hope this helps. Man, you get this right, and you own this. This is everything for you. I like what Joe Polish and the big guys teach. You're one offer away from a whole new life. And you just got to dial it in. You got to learn some things, get some courage, dial in your confidence, get 100% belief, energy and enthusiasm behind what you've got. And if you're not there yet, then we have work to do. I'd love to help you with that. Get in our Q&A, let's go over it, and we'll rock that. Cool? Let's see how much time we have, by the way. I know I'm getting carried away. Oh, yeah. We're doing great. So, second spoke, is campaigns, or challenges, actually. Challenges. I've had such good results with my 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge as a way to get people to know, love, and trust me, but also warm the conversation for high performance, that I plan on doing one challenge per quarter. And each challenge has a specific outcome or result. And I'm not going to share what's in the queue just yet because it isn't fleshed out, but I've already got 4 challenges that I want to build for the next year and release those live and then make them evergreen after. Some of the work I've been doing with Angie, for example, with Geared Up, she has a fit and fresh challenge, a mindset challenge, and a core challenge. Core meaning the exercise piece. And she's on the hunt for that. And those challenges are part of her program too. So they were released as a challenge. And then if you become a member of her program, you get those challenges for free. And they help you with very specific outcomes and results. So my challenge for you, along with this idea of challenges, is to think about or brainstorm what could be a 3, 5, 7, or 10-day challenge. I guess I missed the word day here. That one topic per day. Inside that topic, you follow the TC model that I teach. There's a story that arcs the struggle to the ambition, and then you teach how you get from the struggle to the ambition, 1, 2, or 3 distinctions, and you challenge. And if you need an example of that, go into, and I'll link to it below, the 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge. You'll see that lived into. You'll see me fully present. Just so you know, that challenge has had thousands of people through it. It was filmed in October 2013. People think I filmed it yesterday. That's the power of evergreen. I didn't reference any dates or times in it. It's out there and it just takes people from here to there over time, and I give you that powerful tool at the end, the Wheel of Perspective. It really helps keep these things in check. Lots of lives have been changed for that one challenge. Can you imagine doing 4 in a year and really promoting them? Really powerful. That's the second spoke. The end of this all leads to this. Hey, you want more of this? Join our monthly membership. We're going to really take this and keep this growth for you for the long term. You want more support from Charlie? Be a monthly community or mastery community member. You want the ultimate support inside of this, going from 0 to break even or 0 to whatever that is for you to really grow. If it's available here, you want the unlimited gold, platinum, whatever you want to call level of support. If there's spots open here, if not, we got CHPCs in our community that will help you here. That all make sense? Challenges, 2. Number 3, launches. Specific launches, bundles with 1 to 3 bonuses that we would run ads to, limited time, shakedown. What does that all mean? So if you're unfamiliar with what a launch is, there's typically an end date. That's the deadline. So I'm going to break down a simple launch that we just did for Angie for a workshop she's doing. It's the Believe, Achieve, and Be Your Best Self for 2020 workshop. And she offered a 30% discount if you signed up by a certain date at midnight. The 30% discount was the kind of bonus or discount. That was the sort of catalyst for urgency and scarcity. And so what we did on Tuesday at 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time, we sent out an email, shot across the bow. Hey, we're running this workshop. Here's the emotional benefits. And if you sign up by this Saturday at midnight, you get $30 off. Thursday at noon, I think it was 12:15 actually, we sent another email. 2 days left. We basically copied the last email, put it on top of it. Hey, just a quick update. 2 days left to get in on this. Saturday, the day that it closes, at noon, we got 12 hours left. At 8 p.m. Eastern, we got last call. Last call for this, and it was last call that generated conversion. But we did get a couple conversions. We've done that launch twice with 2 different price tiers. And we've gotten conversion on day 1, one person on Thursday, and a lot of people converted on Saturday. So that's what kind of a launch is. There's usually a scarcity to it. There's a limited time offer component to it. There's a shutdown to it. And sometimes there's discounts, like with Angie. Other times there's bonuses that you only get now. Sometimes it's a combination thereof. I'm not going to go too deep on this, but I just want to give you the frame. My goal is to run one of these launches per quarter. So between this and this, there's 2 months out of every 3 covered for generating new awareness to the offers. Remember, these are spokes for this hub. So the launches would be selling this, or even, which we'll get to in number 7, a course that ties into it as well. So I'll talk to you a bit about that in just a minute. What the launches are like, hey, you know what? Right now we're running $997 annual, and if you sign up now, you get the bonus of the Business Builder course for free, which is a $997 course. And you get that free up until Saturday at midnight. That'd be just an illustration of how that can work. If you have any questions, feel free to bring them into Q&A or comment below. I'm more than happy to answer it. So I'd love to know, participation queue, do you have any launches planned in the next year? And if so, what are you committed to? What does it look like? If you don't know the whole detail of the launch, you don't have to type it all in. Just say, yeah, I'm committed to this launch by this date, and here's how I'm going to do it. And Char, I might need to bounce it by you and have some help there. Totally cool. I'm here for you. Number 4 is continual value. Something that we have not been on up until now. Well, we'll be starting in the next new year. Weekly social media updates and email updates that are simply, get this, simply snippets of the very best of our training. So for example, from today's training, I can take this piece where I taught this, or my offers piece, and snip that out by itself, and that can stand alone as value online. And it can say, hey, you know what? These are the offers. This is how I'm approaching the new year. And if you want my strategic plan in action, this is what I'm going after. If you want the 7 points, join our monthly membership program. Get into the training where I teach you the 7 ways we're going to make those offers work. You follow how powerful that is? I hope you're seeing it. And you're spreading awareness about what you do in the world too. It's like a win-win-win-win-win. Really critical. So continual value. If you have the library of content like I do, you just take pieces of it, some of the best teachable points, and you front end it with, hey, this is the topic, and then at the very end of it, this comes from our monthly membership program. If you want to learn more, go over here. If you want to become a member, you got to apply. Mastery Community member. Apply here. You follow? If we hit the right note at the right time, boom. They're in an application, I'm in a discovery call, or they're joining the monthly membership. By the way, the monthly membership doesn't require an application. You can join that anytime. This does require an application. These absolutely require applications. If any of you refer anybody into this, that doesn't require an application because I'm banked on the fact that whoever you're referring is a good referral. And if they aren't, we'll call that out, have that conversation. Bottom line, number 4, fourth spoke, continual value. Just using what we've created. Going through and snipping things out. And having it look good, have it stand by itself as a solid teachable piece of content, and then say there's more from where that came from, join a program to get in on it. Cool? Whew, I know we're covering a lot. Number 5, in-person training. And speaking. So I used to do this a lot. I do half-day, full-day workshops. In-person speaking and training, big picture training, tactics with CTA, that means call to action, 2 to 3 a year. So scheduling out, this won't happen until the middle of next year, but scheduling out and renting out a room, which is a great friend of mine, has this beautiful facility, 40 seats to 100 seats, to rent out a room and go after this, to create an event about it. Very clear call to action, that's what the CTA stands for. This. You follow? That one's pretty self-explanatory. I'll have a very clear objective in that training. Very clear objective. How to grow your business in the last half of 2020, whatever that would be. Very clear objective. And this will support that. Because I'll say, if you've ever been to a Brendon Burchard event, you know, I don't have time to teach this in depth the way I want to. I have a course on it. You get it as part of being a monthly member. Or you get it as part of being our mastery community. Something along those lines. But this is another spoke to this hub. You follow? Is this exciting for you or what? Now I have miles here. So that's a pretty easy thing for me to fire up. A lot of people are like, I wouldn't even know how to run an event like that. That's totally cool. Maybe you work some of these or one of these. I would always suggest you work that one. But maybe you're trying some of this other stuff and you don't have the interval that I have. That's totally cool too. I just want to make sure I'm brainstorming with you, giving you ideas and sharing with you exactly what we're up to. Exactly what we're up to. Cool. All right, next spoke. Webinars and workshops. These are online. So you're going to be seeing one coming up here super soon about the 2020 Jumpstart. And it's specific why, how, and what outcome-based workshops. Webinars. It's usually a 60 to 90 minute, sometimes 2-hour training. And I always follow my webinars and workshops, online webinars, online workshops, up with Q&A. Just get on Zoom, let's go after it. What are the questions? And the webinar itself, or the workshop, is recorded and put into Kajabi along with the Q&A so people can get that support and care. One of the webinars that I consider to be a webinar workshop was that 0 to 100K monthly membership, exactly how I did that. And it was the 7 steps for that. And if you guys remember, I think it was July of 2018 when we put that out. And that was an exact example of that. So got some great ideas there to really go after it. Again, the idea is join the webinar. It's usually $297. Become a member for $97. Get the webinar free along with other training related to topic. And or join the webinar workshop. I guess I put workbook. Whoops. Workshop. Join the webinar workshop and get a bonus or 2 if you become a Mastery Community member. Apply here. You follow? So I want to make sure I dial this in for you. The 7th part, I covered this in one of our previous trainings, is courses. The releasing of 2 new courses next year, probably 3, because I still have to film life, business, and internet mastery courses. Those are individual courses that are pretty in-depth each. And so basically the concept for that is this. The course itself will either be $497 or $997. Now you can buy the course or you can become a member and get the course as a bonus. And it will be much more price friendly if you join as a member. And the idea is to be completely authentic and congruent. Joining the membership will help you actualize the course because it's a journey, not a destination. You follow? You see how this all ties back to what we talked about originally? So these are the 7 points of my New Year plan. And if any of these came up as a great idea for you or something you want to think through or go after, that's what our Q&As are for. If you want to get on a one-on-one, Mastery Community members, to really think this through for you, that's you and me going after it. But I hope the framing for all this has helped. So that being said, I'd love for you, participation queue, to go through and share what are, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what are maybe 1, 2, 3 of these that you're committed to? Just say, I'm committed to 1, relationships, 3, launches, and 4, continual value as a comment. And again, I'm watching it because our goal from this training, from our Health, Wealth, and Mastery training, and from our leadership coaching, is by the end of this month, as I've mentioned, I'm going to pick a winner, 3 winners actually. The first one is going to be able to fly down, all expenses paid. We're going to work in the studio. We're going to build this all for you as much as we can in 3 days. And trust me, we'll do a lot of front-end work to really crush the tactics of it to make sure we got everything set. So we step in here, we're going to go just boots on the ground and run. You follow? I know this is a lot. I know I throw a lot. Yeah, Adult Learning Theory says I need to review it. So my offers, here they are. Monthly membership, that's infinity. I can support infinity people. Mastery Community, I can support 150. The upgrade to VIP, I can support 15. If you want to refer people to it, 20% passive recurring revenue for life. The affiliate link is below. If you're already an affiliate, these offers will appear in your affiliate dashboard. Over here, I have for people who really want to go after it. Coaching, high performance coaching, business internet coaching consulting, 10% referral fee for that, for the life of that subscription. That's easy, fast money, assuming I have spots open. And we're working on the way that we can delegate that as I asked for earlier. Look forward to talking with y'all who are interested in that referral program from people that are looking for help in the CHPC realm. Refer that out. We'll get that structured and set up. That's the main hub. Here's the ways that we're going to bring awareness and conversion to it. This has already worked. One-on-one relationships. That's the arc of my entire life. One-on-one relationships with individuals, small business owners, entrepreneurs, affiliates, referral sources, those kind of things. Challenges, that's worked really well for me. Launches has worked really well. Continual value, when I did that way back when, that worked out pretty well. It was the lower conversion, but I've learned a lot since then. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. In-person speaking training, that's worked out insanely well for me. Webinars and workshops, that's worked out really well. Courses, that's a new area with price juxtaposition. That's it. And this may look like a lot, but when you really get into this and get this developed into what we taught earlier today in those daily, weekly, monthly needle movers, it's just about strategy, time blocking, and really going after it, getting good systems in play. So this ends the training of strategic planning and action, my 7-point New Year plan. Now let's get into the action. First of all, define and redefine your offers. And if you're drawing a blank about your infinity offer or pockets of profit, any of the stuff we've covered, we got time to brainstorm in our Q&A and in our check-in sessions. We'll go after that. 2, think through what is possible for you. Develop 1, 3, 5, or 7-point plan. Share it with me, and if you dare, share it with us. Even if it's a 1-point plan, the way we started, one-on-one relationships with clear offers. That's a great place to start. Because inside of you going out and creating those relationships, you're going to hear common themes in the struggle for what you offer. And that can be leveraged, those words, if you write those down, can be leveraged in some of these other things. Does that all make sense? Let me give you an illustration. A lot of people were like, dude, I need to get my site SEO'd, my website SEO'd, search engine optimized. Oh, okay. Well, we offer that service, but it's beyond that. Don't you need to decide what's most profitable, most fulfilling, most desirable? Why don't we have a vision, strategy, and planning session to decide that? Then we'll develop an SEO plan to bring in the right kind of people, the learners, the buyers, the shoppers, the learners, the shoppers, the buyers, into those realms. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I would hear that a lot. Then we can go out and really go after creating a purposeful, profitable business for you. I hope that illustration helped. Think through that, send it to us. 3, this is where the action happens. You have got to build it. That's why we're offering in this month's giveaway, the 3-day full immersion workshop here in Southwest Florida with me, all expenses paid, to crush this, to build this, to help you mindset, get the confidence, get that energy and enthusiasm, 100% belief in what you have to go after it. Win the giveaway and we will do it together. Number 4, do it. What's CC and T mean? Write this down. Do it consistently, continually, and thoroughly. I'm going to say it again. Remember this, singular deep focus. Do the work. Live into the strategy. Consistently, continually, and thoroughly. And do it for an entire year. An entire year. If you have been with Brendan Burchard, like I have since the beginning, he gave himself an entire year to build a course and market it. And he gave himself, the course build out was usually, I think back then it was 6 weeks, maybe 5, 4. But he marketed it and tested all these different mechanisms. Some of them are here to go out and create the awareness. Where he got the payoff from what he shared with us was in relationships with affiliates. That's where his brand went nuts. Because he got on other people's lists and he went to was over a $4 million launch with Total Product Blueprint through affiliates. I think he gave away like a Range Rover or a Mercedes-Benz SUV. I remember seeing the affiliate page for it. And that's where he may attest to this, that's where his massive growth happened. Massive growth in the sense of sales conversion. Not leads conversion, growing email lists, but sales conversion was through affiliates. Back then, his training, like his value videos were so off the charts. It was like unbelievable value. I remember just taking notes on them. He was, if you were there back then, and I talked to him about this, and I got to tour the studio that he used to film in, his old condo in Portland. He had all these flip charts and showed you how to make 100K in all these different areas, and he skipped around like he was just loose on his feet. And then he went over and taught you to create anything blueprint, and then he went over and taught you the way that you converse. I can't think of what he called it, but the way to reach out and talk with people. And it was just amazing value inside the video. I just remember having pages of notes, watching them on the screen. It was crazy cool. That's my dream for you. And that's it. We got to do this for an entire year. Who's in? That all being said, thank you so incredibly much. Final participation cue. What was it today that was an insight, a thought, a breakthrough for you that you really needed to hear, learn about, assess as part of your bigger strategic plan and action? And while you type that in, let me recap, like we're taught to do in adult learning theory, exactly what we covered today. First, we covered the 5 Ps. To really create, why are we doing this in the first place? To create a purposeful, passionate, positive, productive, and profitable life and business. Second, the offers. This is everything. This is all we're concentrating on. Might be a little complex. Hopefully it isn't now for you. And then these, the hub, these are all the spokes that we're going to leverage to go after it. Many of them I've already tested and measured and they work. I'm just going to double down on those and go after them even more. And you got the intervals. Always 1 per quarter, weekly, 2 to 3 per year, 2 to 3 per year, 2 to 3 per year. Cool? This is the magic. The actionable steps: define and redefine your offers, think through what's possible for you, get at least one of these. After you define your offers, get at least one of these dialed in, journal how you're going to do it, what you're going to talk through. My challenge would be to do this one first, because that gift, when you get that nailed, it leads into all the others. It's like magic when you can nail that, because you can talk about the offers, you can talk about, hey, I'm going to be running a webinar workshop. Would you join for that? You've learned the language, you've learned how to communicate, you've learned how to convince and help people understand how you can help them. Build it. Take the action. We in the giveaway, we're going to build it together. Cannot wait for whoever the winner is. We're going to rock that. Do this work continually, consistently, and thoroughly for 1 entire year. How do you feel about that? So as you know, my purpose on this planet is to help you live purposefully, passionately, positively, productively, going after your life's work while taking care of your responsibilities and profitably. I think this training today crushed it. I hope it has. I cannot wait to see you in the Q&A. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.